A former colleague of Jamie Varley has publicly spoken out about what he was like before the offences that shocked the country took place. Let's discuss this. A former colleague of Jamie Varley, who worked in the same high school as him, revealed that his mask slipped after a night out when a colleague threatened to phone the police on him. Varley is currently serving a whole life order at HMP Wakefield, dubbed Monster Mansion, for abusing and murdering little Preston Davy, a crime that shocked the nation and continues to do so. His former friend and colleague, named Elaine, said she had been targeted because of the relationship, and she has now spoken on the Break the Ice channel to set the record straight so she can move on with her life. She's currently being targeted by people in and amongst where she lives because of her relationship with the child-killing and abusing scumbag. During an emotional discussion, Elaine talked about how she met Varley and how his actions after what should have been a routine and normal work night out showed his true manipulative colours. The pair met 14 years ago when Elaine worked for the police as a school PCSO, Police Community Support Officer, and she said Varley was originally a technician before becoming a teacher. Elaine also became a head of Year 11 for a non-teaching role and shared an office with Varley. Asked whether they were close, she replied, "He was that annoying friend that I would roll my eyes at things, about his behaviour and things, but that's what he was like, that annoying friend. You didn't expect this to be the outcome. It has been absolutely horrendous." I mean, as you can imagine, if one of your close friends was jailed for something that was just so despicable, disgusting and depraved, how would you feel? You'd question yourself, wouldn't you? You'd question yourself of how you could have been a friend with someone that gross and that evil. But obviously, Elaine, his former friend, need not blame herself. Nobody would have seen this coming. Because if you were to see this coming, you'd put a stop to it. So she need not blame herself. But I can totally understand how she feels. God knows how I'd feel if one of my good friends committed an offence half as bad as this. Elaine added, "I'll give you an example. Over the years, never once has he ever rang me up and asked if I'm okay. He was that kind of friend. It was always about him." Elaine said this included when she had bowel surgery. Varley was the one pal who never bothered to ask how she was doing. She said he started off as a fun friend in a friendship group made of up to 6 people. However, Elaine soon discovered that drama seemed to follow Varley, and it became something that she could no longer tolerate. And speaking about how his mask slipped after a night out, Elaine said, "I remember him coming to work one day and he kind of rushes over to me, and this has completely drained me all over. He has to tell 6 different people different stories. So he comes over to me, I didn't drive last night. I didn't. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, Jamie. It was a work do, and I had not gone to it." According to Elaine, it turned out that Varley had drank and drove after the party, but instead of owning up to it, he then drove back the following day and took a picture of his parked car to supposedly prove that he hadn't. She continued, "Well, it was witnessed by 2 colleagues. The colleague had said, if I would have had charge of my phone, I would have been ringing the police. Just everything was a drama. Suck it up, But then, to go out of his way to then manipulate and then go and actually drive his car back to the same area to then take a photo, that's the kind of person he was, or is." So I'll just park the story for a second there, guys. This all seems to be a bit circumstantial, and please do not dare think that I am trying to defend or speak good words about this disgraceful human being. Just up to now, it all seems like people are looking for something that fits the bill. Even if it's not true, even if it's just circumstantial, this Jamie Varley doesn't deserve any sympathy or any form of, defence against wrongful words, because the little baby that he abused and murdered, he couldn't even talk, couldn't even defend himself. So I'm not defending him. I'm just analysing what his friend has said, what his former friend has said to the Daily Star. Anyway, Elaine says something that doesn't come as a shock at all to me. So Elaine said Varley was an absolute arsehole, but that she could never have imagined that he was capable of the offences that he's done. And it recaps on the offences. I'm not going to recap on them. You can see those in my last video. You can listen to those in my last video. I'm not going to speak about it again because it actually brought tears to my eyes. And I was more or less crying. And I'm an emotionally stable guy. And reading this case killed me off. It was disgraceful. Anyways, despite finding Varley annoying, Elaine did say he was simply one of the girls, but he would often turn up at her house uninvited before outstaying his welcome. Elaine, who said she hopes Varley suffers in prison, 'cause he will. Trust me on that. I can put my arse on it. His offences are up there with top-tier depraved lunatics. He is going to get his in prison. I can almost put my ass on that, he will. So, she also said he could be bossy, rude, self-absorbed and obstructive, but that she could never have envisaged him being a monster like this. And defending herself from the abuse she has received since his conviction, she said, I'm not this horrible person for knowing him, and I just want to get on with the rest of my life. So for all of you listening to this, I don't know if you have any connection with people who have known this disgraceful guy. It's not their fault. You know, you're that old saying, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You just don't. You know, people are shocked about some of the things they find out about their own family members. Husbands finding stuff about their wives finding stuff about their husbands, and they're living under the same roof. You just don't know. So she need not have bother herself with what people think about her, because it's immaterial. You know, what he done is what he done, and it is so despicable. So it's just there needs to be a new word invented for it. Feel free to recommend one in the comments. It's not her fault, and she's obviously haunting herself, as we all would. If one of my friends done something half as bad as this, it would haunt me. It would haunt me most certainly. It's beggars belief, you know. You don't think you'll ever read stuff like this, and then when you do, you just can't believe it. So God bless Elaine. And God bless her for publicly speaking out. It must have took guts, must have took, you know, some great bravery. She's quite clearly a lady who's in a professional role and has her shit together. So being associated with probably the number one enemy of the United Kingdom, this Jamie Varley disgusting arsehole, it must have had an effect on her life just being associated with him. People may have seen them together, and they might try and not tie them with the same brush, but be like, how could you be friends with that monster? But because she wasn't to know. She wasn't to know. If she did know what was going on and didn't say anything, that's a different story. But I'm quite certain that isn't the case. But yeah, this is a fairly quick video, just about something that's popped up in the news. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. If you haven't already, for new content, I'm coming up with stuff all the time. I've got a few videos that are underway and in the pipeline ready to be uploaded in the next few days. If you want notification of those, subscribe, and yeah, enjoy more content moving forward. But I'd just like to say as a caveat, I don't want to use this case as a way to get likes, get comments. I'm not doing this channel for this. This channel is all about looking beyond the convictions and looking at things in more detail, looking at how certain convictions, how you can overlook that, how you can move on in life. And now and then I will review true crime, I will review what's going on in the news currently, because I want to see debate in the comments. I want to see people's thoughts, because that's the value of this channel for me. I'm not doing it for likes, and for those who don't know, you don't get paid on YouTube for this sort of thing. You know, you don't get paid. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it just to share my thoughts, because I think it's a good thing to do, is to share what you think and to gauge the opinions of others, just to see where you sit. And you know, if I'm wrong, I'd like to be told I'm wrong, and if I'm right, then feel free to tell me I'm right. You know, and it'd be nice to hear that I'm right now and then. But yeah, that's all I'm doing it for. So I don't want to use this case I don't want you to think I'm using this case as a way to get paid on YouTube or things like that, because I'm not getting paid anything, you know, and I'm not intending to get paid. I just want to share my thoughts with a good select few educated and nice people, and that's it. But yeah, I hope you do enjoy my content thus far, and if there's anything video wise that you want me to put up, any questions you think I can answer, then get it in the comments or drop me a note. I'm more than happy to try my best to answer those. And yeah, thank you very much. Peace and love, guys.